Hola, hola familia. This is Nessa Snow and welcome to my channel. I had a lot of ideas for a video this week and I was really excited to maybe start some new stuff, and then I went to work Friday and I got a lovely idea for a new video. I am extremely upset and I feel that this is something that a lot of people in the customer service kind of area or job, we all have this issue. We're all pissed about this. And you know, we send each other those cute little memes about the way people act, the way customers act, the way we're treated on a daily basis in any kind of retail restaurant kind of job. I literally, I don't even know where to start. So I'm just gonna jump in. I apologize if my voice is a little annoying. I am getting sick, so I will try to keep drinking stuff and hopefully my voice isn't too crazy annoying. So we'll start with children. I totally understand that a crying baby is something you cannot control. You know, sometimes babies can cry for absolutely no reason. There is a point, and I believe it's called the gray area or gray time, or is it purple? Guys, it's been a while since I took psychology, but there is a point where babies just cry. They're not wet, they're not hungry, they're not hot, cold, annoyed. They just cry for no reason. And if you can't respect mothers, fathers, respect the moment that they're going through, like you give them these ugly looks and treat them like, oh my gosh, just why are you even at the grocery store? Why are you at this restaurant? Why are you at this store? Like what are you doing? What are you thinking? Get this child out of here. Like, hold on. If you don't have kids, then of course you don't understand what they're going through. But this parent is probably tired, has been listening to this kid probably cry all day long, all week long, whatever. Like, they had to deal with this longer than you do. So the 30 minutes, 45 minutes that you're eating somewhere, shopping somewhere, whatever, get over yourself or you can leave, because that's ridiculous. So I do respect and understand crying children. That's not what we're talking about today. The mess that people allow their children to make is absolutely ridiculous. If you cannot control your kids, me being a Catholic that is very against birth control, wants to ask that parent, hello, have you never heard of birth control? Because you can't even control the one kid you already had, and now you have this other one acting just as bad as the first one. It's called condoms, birth control pills, and IUDs. Find one. Learn how to control your kid if you're gonna be having kids. That's ridiculous. There's no reason to allow your child to run around the store, run around the restaurant, run around an establishment yelling at the top of their lungs. There's no reason for that. No reason. And that's completely different from a baby crying. A baby crying, that's understandable. Parents do what they can or they try their best. No, I'm talking about 5-year-old, 8-year-old children acting like animals. And a lot of people would be like, oh, well, you have to have patience and that parent just has so much patience, and you know, they're trying their best. Look, they have 5 kids, like whatever. And it's like, no, hun, like that, you need to show them how to be acting, how to be good kids, good to eventually become good adults. Like, you have to show them from the beginning. And I find it extremely mind-boggling that these parents just allow their children to do whatever they want. More annoying than your children screaming, yelling, crying is allowing your kid to destroy an establishment. And I don't mean, like, obviously there's no way that they're destroying, like, tables and chairs. Well, I hope they're not destroying tables and chairs and, like, walls and whatnot. Like, if your kid's doing that, if your kid's that bad, like, honey, there's no helping you. And you don't need to have kids. But I'm talking about, like, small stuff. Like, if it's a shoe store, throwing shoes all over the place. And then you're like, oh, well, boys will be boys, or girls will be girls, or, like, whatever. No, they're not. No, they won't be. You tell them, this is not your home. This is an establishment. This place does not belong to mommy, daddy, doesn't belong to you. So we need to respect our surroundings. We need to respect these people's things. So please pick that up. And if your kid's yelling and screaming and hitting you, which is another thing that I find absolutely ridiculous, parents allowing their kids to hit them. If you can't get them to act properly, then you do it. You pick it up. I mean, and it's like, oh, well, you know, my kid threw that on the ground. Why do I have to pick it up? To show them that you don't make a mess. And then on top of that, like, it starts with you. So you make sure that you're not making a mess, and then that you're picking up after your kids, so that they know, hey, like, places that don't belong to us or that aren't our, you know, it needs to be clean. Because, like, when I see things like that, it makes me think, like, oh my gosh, I can't even begin to imagine what their home looks like. I'm almost embarrassed for you. Now, children, I mean, it's a hard subject, but what I cannot understand is adults acting like children. Being in retail restaurants for 5 years now, I have come across so many grown people act like animals. I almost can accept picking up after a kid. Like, oh my gosh, that parent didn't even clean up that ice cream, didn't clean up this station, didn't pick up those shoes. I can almost understand that because a kid did it, the parents trying their best, they maybe picked up one thing or, like, whatever. So at that point, it's like, okay, I get it. Like, it was a kid, like, I could pick up after the kid, even though I don't want to, whatever. I've been doing it for the past 8 hours. I might as well continue to do it. What I don't understand is when a grown-up, a grown person is making a mess like a child, spilling things, and then not picking up after yourself, throwing shoes on the ground, screaming, being over-exaggerated in a place of business. I can't begin to understand that because I can't begin to understand that way of thinking, that it's okay to be a grown person and act like an animal. And my thing is like, that people are probably thinking, oh, well, like, I don't want to touch the floor. The floor's dirty, so why would I pick up after myself? Honey, it's called a napkin. Or at least come and get me. Come get an associate or a worker, whatever. Someone that can help you maybe clean something up, pick something up, be like, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mess over there. You know, and we'll be pissed about it, but at least we know it's there, so that when we find it at 10 o'clock at night, we're not really pissed off and behind now because we didn't know you made the biggest mess any child would make. But no, your grown booty made that mess, and now I'm gonna be late because it's gonna take me an hour to clean this floor that your grown booty made. Like, that's unacceptable. Clean up your mess. Don't be a child. Don't be an animal. And I'm sorry if this seems like I am just blah, 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 complain, complain, complain. I don't care, because I'm sick and tired of seeing it. I'm sick and tired of me as a consumer or as a person that goes shopping, goes to a restaurant, that I have to watch people treat these customer service people like utter crap. Oh, they get paid though to do this. No, we don't. We do not get paid to pick up what you're doing. What you're doing is just, it's beyond what we get paid for. I could care less if I got paid $14 an hour, because even at that point, it's not worth it. But guess what? A lot of us don't get paid enough, or don't get paid to pick up the crap that you're doing, but you're assuming that we do. Most of us only get paid minimum wage, which, by the way, depending on where you're at, is only $7.24. Someone that gets paid $7.24 is so tired of being on our feet all day long. You think that they get paid enough at $7.24 to pick up the mess that you made acting like a freaking animal? No, we don't. Pick up your stuff, because that is ridiculous. And another thing, these bathrooms, like, I understand the medical concept of a guy not being able to directly pee into a toilet, okay? Like, I get it, especially once you get to a certain age, it makes sense. But the amount of mess that is left in the men's restroom is ridiculous. Like, some of these trash cans have a lever on the floor that you could push your foot so that you can throw the towel away inside the trash can. There's no reason for someone to then have to come back and pick this all up. You're afraid of your germs? What about me? I'm afraid to touch your germs. Like, I shouldn't have to do that. I should be disgusted. But no, because I get paid $7.24, it's okay to throw that on the ground, or throw toilet paper on the ground and not pick up after yourself. Like, no, it's not okay. I don't get paid $7.24, but it's the point. Like, I'm making a point. Like, you don't need to know how much I make. Women are just as bad. Like, the things that I have seen, and knock on wood, I haven't had horror stories yet, but I have seen things at other establishments that I'm just like, the disrespect that people have is ridiculous, and I can't begin to imagine what your house looks like, what your bathroom looks like. I hope you don't mind me sitting all the way on the ground instead of being on my knees, but it's disrespectful. It's so rude. And there will be a lot of people that say, oh, well, you know, I've been working 10 hours a day, and that's why, you know, and I just wanted to come here real quick and get what I need or eat what I need and go. Why should I also have to, like, pick up after myself? You've been working 14 hours a day? What about these people that are being paid $7.24? How many hours do you think they're working so they can make sure that they can provide for their family, put food on the table, have a roof over their kid's head? Like, like, that's not a good enough excuse for you to be like, oh, I was just so tired that I couldn't bend over. it's disrespectful. It doesn't even if people don't get paid minimum wage and are being paid a ridiculous amount to do customer service, be an associate, no ridiculous amount is worth the disrespect that so many people do and show. And I seriously think everyone should work at some low-paying retail place as an associate only for at least a year, because then at that point, so many people, so much of this disrespect would be cut down, I feel, a lot. And another thing that is extremely disrespectful and rude, hard to handle, and makes I already had to pick up after you, but then on top of that, you're gonna come to me and ask me questions or come to the counter and order something or whatever, and on top of that, you're gonna talk to me like I'm incompetent. Just because I, let's say, work at McDonald's does not give you the right to talk to me like I don't have a degree, because you don't know that. I have worked at many places that flipping burgers or what have you, that you may think, oh, well, people that do that don't have a degree. And I've worked next to people that have degrees, very high medical degrees. So don't tell me that because I flip burgers for a living, I must be incompetent. Don't talk to me like I'm incompetent, because I'm not. Not everyone that works flipping burgers has a felony or didn't go to high school. Not everyone there has these issues, and that's why they're there. That might be their second job. That they might, maybe, I don't know. Like, that's why you should never treat people bad, because you don't know what they're going through, what they've been through, why they're in the situation that they're in. At least they're doing honest work. At least they're not just letting themselves waste away, letting their families waste away, whatever. They're trying. And if that means that they're flipping burgers, oh well. Like, that's what they're having to do. Life gave them lemons, they somehow made lemonade. Like that, they're doing their best. I'm doing my best. Do not talk to me like I'm incompetent. It is the rudest thing ever. Like, you don't know. You know, it kind of reminds me of that Will Smith movie. Was it Pursuit of Happiness, where he couldn't find a job, but then he had an IQ of, like, it was pretty high. Like, he could make one of those Rubik's Cubes. So he's a very smart person, but he was put in the kind of situation that he was put in. So for someone to treat him the way they would treat him, and anyone, like, that's just an example, but people go through a lot, and they're put in situations where they can't find jobs, and so they're having to flip burgers or work in some kind of retail place because they're put in situations that they cannot control, and so they're doing their best, and then you come in and talk to them like they're a piece of, or that they're incompetent, or how we had a customer come in and be like, well, this incompetent person couldn't even do this, and it's like, and then they like went on and on about how important they are and how, you know, we wasted their time and they worked so hard all day and they just wanted a service. Like, honey, I've been working all day too. This is my second job. And then you're going to come in here and cuss us out and tell us that we're incompetent? No. Like, just, we need to learn how to be human beings again. We need to learn how to have manners, because there's so much there's so much bad in the world, and then you go and treat people bad. It's just so awful. When we treat each other the way I've seen in jobs that I've had, it's like, it's not the generation. Everybody, young or old, is just so rude and so mean. I've never truly like had a job where there wasn't at some point a customer or a client just so utterly disrespectful and mean that it just breaks me down. And we might think that these people that work in retail or flipping burgers are incompetent because they didn't go to school and so they're not good enough. Think about, like, we don't really have the technology yet to have a robot make us a hamburger. So now we need them. We need them to make that sandwich. We need them to make that burger. We need them to get those shoes down from a ledge, get that dress down for you. We need these associates. We need these workers, cooks, drink makers, bartenders, baristas. We need these people to do us a service. And so the only thing that we can do to make their lives just a little easier is being nice. That's all. Like, you can think what you want. Ugh, look at her hair. Ugh, she's in a bad mood. Her service sucks, blah, blah, blah. But just have a neutral expression about it. If she's in a bad mood and giving you bad service, then it must be because the person before you treated her really bad. And so the last thing he needs is you to also treat them bad. So just be neutral about it. Have a neutral expression. Treat them in a very neutral way. You don't have to be over exaggeratingly, is that a word? Happy or excited. All associates are looking for is to do exactly what you want, to get in and get out. I hear people say that all the time. It's like, well, I just want to get in and get out. Honey, we only want you to get in and get out. Like, we want to go home too. We want you to do what you do so that we can clean or pick up or like whatever, so we can get the job done. We understand your position. We're in the same position. It's just we happen to work here. I am losing hope in humanity. Get some manners. I know a lot of y'all can probably relate, or you know someone that really needs to hear this, see this. So do me a favor and share, and hopefully we can just start to see a difference in society and how we treat each other, because that's what it boils down to, is how we treat each other. Making a mess, hollering, acting a fool, acting like an animal is disrespectful for me because you're doing it at my establishment. Or, I mean, I might not own it, but I mean, it is my home for 8 hours a day, you know. Other than that, and as always, please like this video, and if you haven't already and would like to become part of La Familia, please hit that big red subscription button on the bottom and subscribe to my channel. There is a bell on the side to give you notifications when I post a new video. I most often post videos on Wednesday nights. You can hit me up on Instagram or Twitter, all Nessa Snow, and Snapchat Nessa Snow XO. I know this is probably a long and annoying video, but I needed to get this off my chest. I was so upset to just continue to see these people be so disrespectful to workers because we're either incompetent or get paid enough to be treated that way. And so I appreciate you taking the time to hear me out today. Hasta el próximo. Ciao.